Keeping me alive, Suman.
Are we? Hello. Welcome back. I think I was frozen like how after Travis said crowd was frozen. I'm sorry. And welcome back to Water Player Concussion Sub Series. We just concluded the World One Day International Cricket World Cup for 2023 in Ahmedabad, Narendra Modi Stadium, and Indian fans are gutted. Australia, what a victory! They never give up and they won by 6 wickets with 42 balls to spare. Sanjay, when Pat Cummins won the toss and put India to bat, what went through your mind?
To be honest, we all thought, considering how India have been winning the games, India would have batted first as well. So I thought it was a good toss to lose. But both the teams got what they wanted. Rohit did say that he was going to bat. Uh, India has been relying heavily on Virat and Rohit to get the runs, and pretty much all the time they batted first, they've got really good score. But the pitch was slow. So although India started very well, Rohit innings are again in the 40s, playing at a strike rate of 150, 10 overs, 80 runs. But after that, it just seemed impossible for India to get away between 11 and 50 overs. They hardly hit anything, like four boundaries in that period of time. And the first time in the tournament, our tail was tested, and the last four batters just did not have a chance. And Rahul and Suryakumar Yadav, no one could give the finishing touches, and 240 was never going to be enough under lights, especially when they had a good start, not losing too many wickets. So all in all, it was Australia's day, and full credit to them.
Yeah, Australia winning the World Cup for the sixth time. Just as a refresher, Pat Cummins won the toss, like we mentioned, put India to bat, and India scored 240 runs, which in hindsight were just not enough. And Australia, boy oh boy, started in a little bit shaky way, but ended up with 42 balls to spare and a ridiculously good 100 by Travis Head. He joins the legends like Gilchrist, Clive Lloyd, Mahela Jayawardena, Aravinda De Silva, who score final World Cup final hundreds. Sanjay, we had the what do I say? We had the disappointment of watching him play in Oval. He's a fantastic player, but it seems like he's starting to like India bowling attack.
In fact, yesterday when we were doing the preview, as soon as the head's name came up, we were like, we can manage Warner, Smith, Labuschagne, everyone, but head would be the key. And he's pretty much got more than half the runs of the Australian side. So the next best score in the entire game is Virat Kohli 66, which is just under around 80 strike rate. He's got 137 in 120 balls. That's as good an innings you would have seen in the World Cup and under pressure. Coming to chase, first 5 overs, absolutely brilliant for the crowd, for all the Indian fans. At least they had something to cheer about. 3 wickets down. You did feel that that was the moment India had to get Travis Head and maybe a couple more, and then it would have been a very close contest. But once the first 5, 6 overs were done, they had 40 runs in 5 overs on the board. Travis Head and Labuschagne just knuckled down, and there was hardly anything happening in the pitch, and the ball was nicely coming onto the bat, and they just milked the bowling around. Singles here and there, 4, 5 runs is what they needed. And unlike the first innings, where it did feel like the ball stopped and went through very slowly, like a tennis ball, but maybe our batters didn't try hard enough. 240 was way under par, it felt like.
Yeah, and huge congratulations to all the Australia fans and the entire nation. I mean, they again came through. Let's break this down a bit, right? When Pat Cummins put India to bat, India were, I think, about 80 for one in first 10 overs. And then when we went to the 25 over mark, they were like 150 for three. And like Ravi mentioned, I think for about 20 overs, if I'm not wrong, and if my memory serves right, we did not score a single boundary. And clearly that's coming back to haunt us.
We had, in fact, 5 boundaries between Shreyas Iyer, Rahul, Suryakumar Yadav, and Siraj. So apart from Kohli and Rohit, no one else could get the ball away. Rahul played one of the most poor innings probably of the tournament, 66 of 107 balls. But yeah, I mean, the critics would, not the critics, his supporters would probably say that if he had not hung around, maybe we had no chance with our tail. And to be honest, as much as I'd like to put it on Rahul, I think our tail, it's just such a weak tail that none of the batters had enough confidence, or even the top order, that we could bat through and have enough support from the tail, because for some reason Shami is coming ahead of Kuldeep and Bumrah, whereas Kuldeep's probably the most technically correct to hold on an end, but we just couldn't get the ball away. It was just so different to what we've been used to, or we've been spoiled for through the course of the tournament, that it just felt really bad. And I completely agree with Ravi that if you think Suryakumar is your man, then there's no way. Left and right hand combination, forget about it. He should have come in earlier. He should have at least, he would have got the time to settle in along with Jadeja. It's not that Jadeja was going all guns blazing. Everyone was struggling. So at least it would have allowed him the opportunity to build an innings and do well. So all in all, very, very disappointing performance.
And let's also go take that back to the Rohit innings. 47 runs, and few of our water player friends are frustrated and disappointed that he played a rash shot. My view is he gave you the start. Now it was up to the middle order to continue the momentum. Do you think he played a bad shot, or do you think our rest of the batters did not turn up at all? Like, what's your assessment here? I know it's emotionally we are charged right after a final loss, but what's the genuine situation?
So there's two ways to look at it. If you look at how the World Cup has gone, this is exactly how Rohit has played, come what may. He's taken it upon himself to take the charge, go at 150, so that makes it very easy for all the other batters. Now, for a period of time, you felt, yes, Shreyas Iyer got out very cheaply, but you felt that KL Rahul and Virat Kohli, they were going around steadily, and they were around 160 odd in 32 overs. So maybe another 100 runs was on the cards. So I won't necessarily blame Rohit. Critics will argue that, considering the pitch, maybe he could have buckled down and tried to go for a big 100-run innings, probably bat for 30, 40 overs. But the key crucial dismissal was Virat Kohli's, and this is where I think he's got not got enough credit in the earlier matches, where he's batted one and through, which has allowed other players to play much, much more freely. So it was quite disappointing. Virat Kohli, he was just trying to tap the ball. There's nothing in that. It wasn't a great delivery as such. And then after that, we just couldn't get the ball out of the square. So full credit to Pat Cummins. He bowled really well. Glenn Maxwell again, an underperform. A person is probably underlooked at when he's from bowling perspective, but that catch from Travis said that was also the turning point in the match. And 240, you felt that yeah, maybe like the England India match, maybe we would be able to defend that. But once we started giving those many extras, and Australia were like, come what may, we're just gonna smash it and try and get as many runs as possible in the power play. It made it so easy for rest of the batters.
And entire India batters scored, I think, 18 boundaries. Travis Head himself scored 15 boundaries. So that in itself explains the intent factor. And I was exactly coming to what Ravi's talking about. Pat Cummins, outstanding call of taking the gamble and on a World Cup final putting a strong batting unit to put on the score first. And how well did the Aussies read the ground? They knew that it's going to get easier after the floodlights are on. Ball's going to skid. You know, Bumrah and Shami tried in the first few overs. Also, the field placements. If you look at Stark first over, and if you look at Rohit Sharma, they had all the field up and they had a deep point. They knew that bowling wide to Rohit Sharma might score. That's second. They also had a deep square leg for the Rohit Sharma pull shot, and they almost got him. I think captaincy is crucial. I don't know what happened to Rohit Sharma today. Experience definitely did not come in handy. But let's talk about Pat Cummins. How well did he plan and his support staff supported him?
I know there's a lot of people who don't think that he should be the captain for the ODIs. He's a great Test captain. He's done well for them, but ODIs people were circumspect whether he should be the captain. After the first two matches, again all guns were out saying okay whether he should be the captain or not. But he did tremendously well. I think it was a huge call to make. But I think, but maybe in hindsight, India's not helped themselves by making a low pitch. If this was a perfectly flat, normal Indian batting pitch, I think it would have helped Indians more than the other guys because we had three quality seamers. The moment we decided to have a low pitch, it was always going to be difficult if we were batting first and trying to set up a total because their part-time spinners like Travis Head and Glenn Maxwell and even Zampa, they were all in the game. And especially after we lost the three wickets in the initial phase, we were all trying to build, and literally no one could get the ball away. Even Surya Kumar Yadav, they had really good plans for him. He loves that ramp shot over the top, and they were bowling just slow bouncer after bouncer, and you could see that it's coming. He's going to get out, and that's what happened. KL
Chamach
Rahul got
shot.
a good delivery.
Yeah, Chamach shot, as KL Rahul calls Surya Kumar Yadav. But unfortunately, Shreyas Iyer did not click too. I think, his contributions were crucial. Now, hindsight again, looking back, even though people think that he is not fit for the short ball, I mean, his failure today clearly reflected on team score. His fast scoring rate, if he would have got like 40, 50 runs, India would have been close to 300, which would have been much better spot. And from a Ravindra Jadeja point of view, he had pretty terrible innings too, 9 of 22. Maybe the situation demanded, but between KL Rahul and him, also slowed things down. From Kuldeep Yadav saved the face by scoring 10 odd runs. But yeah, I mean, it all in all, India had a fantastic tournament. I think Guru sir in our water player group said that it's easy to blame, it's easy to be frustrated, it's easy to be disappointed, but at the end of the day, India had such a good tournament, and credit should be given to Australia. I mean, they came here to win. Right after their terrible start, nobody gave a chance. I think few of the people said that let's repeat the 1999. Will they go back and win? Exactly what happened. I personally was not happy with the start with Australia had, because they came with Adam Zampa, which is the only spinner in the squad. Josh Inglis, unproven talent in the wicket keeping department. Marsh wasn't clicking. Maxwell was struggling. But against all the odds that Maxwell innings against Afghanistan probably set the tone for them, saying that they win. And then when Marsh went back, I think he sent a text message to Stoinis saying that I'll come back and win the World Cup. It's all Aussie spirit, isn't it?
Absolutely. And then from India perspective, I think India tried to play the percentage cricket. They were not prepared to lose to win basically. So they could have tried to go hard, much more harder between say 35th and 45th over. They might have got bowled out for 190, who knows? And we would have this would have been even worse. Australia were prepared to what India wants, but we are prepared to take that considering we've seen that there's due and maybe India might not be comfortable setting up the total for us to chase. So I think all in all, they were tactically much more brilliant. And where I think Rohit lacked while in the second innings was once we got the three wickets, I don't think there was any point I felt like they were trying to get more wickets. You had the spinners bowling. There was something in it initially for them when the ball was drier before the dew came in. There were no slips, just like how we blame Babuma, and India at no point had been challenged as much as they were done this time around. So Australia had the experience of being under the pump in the initial few games, but India has had a nigh on perfect campaign until they met Travis Head in the final.
Yeah, absolutely. And no surprises, Travis Head is the player of the match and says, what an amazing day. Just thrilled to be part of it. It's a lot better than seeing the World Cup on the couch from home on injury. And he also admits that he was slightly nervous, and Marvis Labuschagne played exceptionally well. And Syed from our group mentioned, so did Sanjay Manjrekar, how crucial was that Marnus Labuschagne? Because Australia were reeling with that India's fast bowling display. Travis Head he was going to get out any minute, and then he also had the guilt feeling of not telling Steve Smith to review that outside the off stump. So much pressure, and Marnus Labuschagne is supporting. I think Aussie grid again comes back to, but word on Marnus.
Absolutely, and this is perfect situation for both Smith and Manas. It could have been Smith, considering that was a not out decision. He didn't review, but Manas doesn't go at a strike rate of 120, 30. So this is perfect. Just absorbing the pressure, just giving the strike back to Travis Head, just doing the part at the other end, and Travis was doing all the scoring. So he was quite emotional after the match. I saw him, and he was also sort of nervous that whether he's going to be playing today or not, whether he's going to be replaced by someone else. So I think all credit to him. This is again, we keep calling golden generation of Indian cricketers from 2011 and so on and so forth. But Australia seems to be churning these every 3 or 4 years. So they won the T20 World Cup, Test Championship final, and now this all in the last 3 years. So I mean, absolutely great for Australian cricket.
And word on crowd, Sanjay, I know you strongly believe that it doesn't matter, but there is chatter on cricket Twitter, or X Twitter as it is called now, that, like Pat Cummins said, silencing the crowd was their goal. And at a point in time, Siraj and Virat were trying to pump up the crowd, but shouldn't be the other way around, where crowd are supporting India. And we could clearly see the Indian players' body language and the shoulder was drooping. So crowd should have probably given a little bit more momentum to Team India.
Yeah, yeah, and there are lots of different theories going around. There was one interesting theory. Someone said that, oh, everyone's bought the ticket in black. These are the rich kids probably spending 15, 20,000 just to be there, Instagram, so on and so forth. These are not your guys who bought it for 500 after struggling for days and days, queuing up, etc., etc. Maybe it's because of how big the stadium is. It's probably because India was so bad after that initial phase. So the first 5 overs, if you look at it, they were absolutely behind them. Yes, maybe they did not come back. They did not back the team as much as maybe the Wankhede crowd did when they were struggling. But I mean, you can't blame the crowd. It's different dynamics. It's 130,000 people. It's difficult to get a much larger crowd going than when it's a smaller crowd and in a different type of stadium is what I feel. So yes, the semi final, you had a neutral game and everyone was backing South Africa. No one had anything to lose. But here, I think genuinely people were so dejected that after a point they could see that there's no way we're going to win it. So laser show, whatnot. That's what Anil's enjoyed. It was quite a dull final in a sense after the first 5 overs of the second innings. So yeah, quite disappointing. But I won't put it to the crowd. Yes, Kohli might be disappointed. Others might be disappointed. But it's all about the players on a big day, big match situation. The players, some players take the pressure well and turn up, and some don't. I mean, India were unlucky as well, if you want to call it that way. The Manas Labuschagne dismissal, that could have gone India's way, but then Steve Smith could have reviewed his, and that would have been a different story. So I think we just did not have enough runs on the board. But yeah, all sorts of different theories around the crowd, etc., is meaningless to me.
Yeah, and we have Pranshul joining in, who clearly looks disappointed with his dress code and also with his facial expression. How do you summarize this game, Pranshul?
Well, as an Indian cricket fan, my heart is broken, honestly. And but I take solace in the fact that we lost to a better team who were who just knew how to win in this crucial match. And you can't pinpoint anything which the Aussies did wrong. They came out with courage. Everything was stacked against them. Honestly, if you look at it, the Indian team was a juggernaut. They were on how many wins? 9 wins or 10 wins?
Yeah.
And what was in favor of Australia except the toss? and I salute them to put up a performance like this on this day, and pure guts and courage. It's just pure guts and courage.
Yeah. And yesterday, Pranchu, we did the preview and Anil Jain was there. Pretty much you are speaking his mind. He said, I'm extremely nervous because I know Australia, they will come from somewhere in games like these and pull up this kind of a performance. And as you rightly pointed out, they did not put a foot wrong from winning the toss and putting India confidently on bat till that last hit of Maxwell. Maxwell said that it's pure slog, and he hit it and those 2 runs. So, from India perspective, again, I asked Sanjay the same question, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts. A lot of people are questioning the shot selection of Rohit Sharma. Is that the turning point of the game or middle order failure today of not enough runs?
Pretty much, pretty much. I think Rohit Sharma's out. I think we started off good with scoring a lot of boundaries. We put them under the pressure despite they fighting with tooth and nails with the fielding, and but the Rohit Sharma dismissal, I think, just turned the tide towards him. It was a tussle till that time between bat and ball, and between bat and ball and fielding. I would say, because they were fielding fantastically well. By that time, they had already saved around 20 runs, and the Rohit Sharma dismissal, yeah, that just put the tide. The initial part of the match in their favor, and post that, what would you say? Then just they once they won the first bout, first battle within the war, then they were all over us, and then they didn't let it go. So yeah, that's Australian template. So they want to take the first advantage, and once they take it, they do not leave you.
Yeah.
So I think Rohit Sharma's dismissal was critical at that point of time. But he also was fighting fire with fire, but that's Australian way, and he was also fighting fire with fire. One another stroke, we would have said how courageous he was. So fine line between courage and being stupid, right? So yeah, you're gonna take it as it comes.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of the fine line, right? I feel that Rohit Sharma was going hammer and tongs. I know he already got a boundary and a sixer right before that, but Maxwell clearly was the weak link. So I think Rohit was trying to capitalize and get as many runs as possible. He probably also was in the same template like Aussies are, right? I am going to go hammer and tongs. I trust my middle order batters, and if it comes off, it comes off, and who knows. But again, from Akash perspective, he says this Cummins is the man of the match, tactically brilliant. And at a point in time, there were 10
Definitely.
different bowlers bowling
There's no
11
two ways
overs.
about it. I think Cummins was the man of the match. He surpasses even Travis Head with his just cricketing acumen. So that is what this game teaches us, that the captain and just plays a part in this game, which it doesn't play in any of the games. In any of the games, doesn't play that kind of a part. Maybe in obviously doesn't play a part in football or something like that. But Cummins was pure guts just to win the toss and to put India in was like guts, and the field placings he had was perfect to the I it was perfect. He had planned everything. He knew what everybody's scoring shots, their their uh their weak points were. He had planned it to the last limit. I admire Cummins and his cricketing acumen, or what inputs he got. They were bang on. They were like perfect.
Yeah. And Sanjay, hopefully our Indian cricketers do not reflect on this loss and write up any retirement tweets. I really hope not, because I think the talent is too much, but they should hurt. Like the Cricinfo was saying, Siraj has tears in his eyes. Rahul crumbles to the floor. Rohit and Kohli are expressionless. Bumrah walks off the field tossing what looks like water bottles on the floor in disgust. So, I mean, this would hurt after such a fantastic campaign. One bad game and World Cup is gone.
Yeah, and this would hurt, and this should hurt. They've pretty much played a perfect tournament, but for a few overs today, I mean, pretty much the entire game have to give it to the Aussies. But they can hold their head high. I think going over the semi-final was a big hurdle. I think if they had lost the semi-final, I think more guns would be out in a sense that yeah, we cannot do a knockout game. But today was different. I think once we did not get enough runs, you could sense that unless we had them 5 down in the initial 10-15 overs, they would struggle. Our fielding wasn't that great. KL Rahul, who's looked amazing through the tournament, had an absolutely poor game with the bat as well as with the gloves. We had so many extras, but you still got to give credit to the Indian team. They've given us quite a few good weeks of cricket and brought the nation together and all that. But yeah, we we've lost the final, so it'll hurt. But even if few players retire, we still got enough core team around to for the Champions Trophy and even beyond. So I think things will look up in future.
Yeah, Hazelwood says that this is bigger than 2015 World Cup victory, which clearly is because it's an overseas World Cup and beating India in front of like 120,000 crowd. To top it all, tomorrow is Monday. Pranshu, hopefully you've taken some time off, or are you going to work, or what are your plans for overnight? How are you going to regroup?
I think I'll take a couple of days to recuperate. There would be 2 days of sadness for sure.
Yeah.
And that is what teaches us life moves on. You have a Monday coming up, so yeah, it's sports, and in sports everything is fair, and the better team wins. And I don't have any complaints losing to the Aussies. They just played better on the day, and life moves on. I'm gonna go to work tomorrow,
Okay.
but the
And
sadness would prevail for a couple of days. Yeah.
it will for sure. Sanjay, thanks for making time. It is disappointing, but tomorrow maybe we can regroup back and chat, once our emotional settles down. Pranshu,
I want
appreciate
the
you
IPL
joining us.
starting tomorrow, Suman. Get the IPL on from tomorrow. Get a mid version of the IPL. I think
For what it's worth, starting Thursday, T20 series is starting versus Australia. So if that gives you any happiness, we can avenge the defeat.
Why do they have that? We should just stop this T20. I don't know. I'm not interested. I'm done my cricket watching for the past 1 month, and I just need some time off from cricket now.
Yeah, we all do. We all do. Thanks for coming and congratulations to Team Australia. Fantastic sixth record winning title. Excellent. Enjoy, Aussie fans and India fans. Hard luck. Swallow the pill, sleep over, drink over, or take time off, whatever. But as Pranchu said, it's a sport. So let's come back again fresh and enjoy our laughs. Thanks for watching and see you later, guys.
thank you.
All right. Enjoy your day. Bye.
Bye.